Set to appear before judges there later. The former Ivorian leader faces 4 counts of crimes against humanity in relation to the violence that followed an election he refused to accept the result of. Now, many Ivorians were outraged at his transfer last week, some saying it spells the end of reconciliation efforts. This, the tense backdrop for upcoming parliamentary elections. Now, Gbagbo's appearance at the ICC at The Hague today is the subject of this morning's top story. For that, I'm joined by our international affairs editor, Annette Young, here with me in the studio. And from The Hague, we're joined by Cyril Vanier. We're going to start off with you, Cyril. Could you just take us through what's going to be happening today at the ICC?
Well, today what we're going to see is the initial hearing of Laurent Gbagbo. Bear in mind, this is not the beginning of his trial. We're currently in what we call the pre-trial phase. Laurent Gbagbo arrived at The Hague some 4 or 5 days ago, so he is going to appear in front of his judges for the very first time. It's going to be a fairly brief, fairly technical hearing. They're going to confirm his identity. They're going to read him his rights. And most importantly, the prosecutor is going to read the accusations against Laurent Gbagbo. Now, the charges against Laurent Gbagbo are all contained in the international arrest warrant that was handed to him earlier last week in northern Ivory Coast. And the charges are, he is charged with 4 counts of crimes against humanity, amongst which murder, persecution, and rape. So Mr. Gbagbo is going to be officially informed of that today.
Cyril, Annette Young here. It's not just Gbagbo who's been accused of human rights abuses, is it? It's also troops loyal to the new president, Alassane Ouattara, during violence in the wake of last year's elections. Are those allegations also being investigated?
Well, the prosecutors are not telling us very much about the investigation right now, but it is true that they've said Laurent Gbagbo is only step 1. And the chief prosecutor here at the International Criminal Court, Luis Moreno Ocampo, said when he was in Ivory Coast just over a month ago that he intends to prosecute 3 to 6 people, the key figures in the post-election violence in Ivory Coast. French daily Le Monde even believes that Guillaume Soro, Alassane Ouattara's right-hand man, may be one of those people. It is possible that Simone Gbagbo, Laurent Gbagbo's wife, may also be under investigation. But for the moment, the prosecutors do not want to reveal where the investigation stands, who they're questioning, in what part of the country specifically they're investigating, because they say they don't want it to hamper their investigation. But yes, you are absolutely right, Annette. This is officially, and according to the prosecutor, only the beginning. And other Ivorian figures may very well end up in the dock, as will Laurent Gbagbo today.
Cyril Vanier reporting from The Hague. Thank you very much. Turning now to you, Annette. Good morning. I didn't say good morning to you earlier. Now, we're going to broaden it out a little bit and look at the fact that the International Criminal Court is very busy today, not just with Laurent Gbagbo. It's got quite a few high-profile cases going on at the moment.
It certainly is clear. And it must be the busiest year since the body came into being back in 2002. Now, Gbagbo is the first former head of state taken into custody by the ICC. The court is also considering a request, as Cyril alluded to investigate other crimes that Gbagbo may have committed before this period of this post-election violence. In fact, going back to 2002 when the civil war broke out in the Ivory Coast, right up to 2010. Now, in addition, President Omar al-Bashir of Sudan and the late Muammar Gaddafi have also been subjected to ICC arrest warrants, but for a series of reasons, primarily in Gaddafi's case in that he's dead, they've never been executed. Then you've got the case of Gaddafi's son, Saif al-Islam. Now, Libya has said that they want to try him on home territory, on home soil, and the ICC has agreed. But we do know that the ICC will be monitoring proceedings very closely indeed. As well, it's currently handling somewhere in the order of 11 cases, including the 2008 post-election violence in Kenya, alleged war crimes committed in the Central African Republic, and of course alleged genocide in Darfur.
And so looking more specifically then at this case of the Ivory Coast, how will this trial affect the reconciliation process? Because a lot of supporters of Gbagbo are saying that's it, that's the end of the reconciliation process.
Absolutely, and I think it's very important for the ICC and for those who are promoting the concept of reconciliation and justice that all allegations of human rights abuses are investigated, which is why I was asking Cyril, what is the case in terms of those affiliated to Alassane Ouattara? Are they also being looked into? But, this indictment could indeed prove to be divisive within the country. Having said that, a lot of Gbagbo's militia have sort of disappeared as such. They've sort of, have largely fled and are unlikely to cause much trouble. His camp has described the transfer as a case of political kidnapping and has announced that it's going to boycott the upcoming elections. They say they see this very much as being the hand of the Ouattara, who they see as being a puppet of the West. But Human Rights Watch has said, look, this is a very important step. It's basically sending out a very clear message to everybody in the Ivory Coast that no matter where you are or who you are, you're not going to be above the law. As a result, they are very supportive of what's occurred.
Thank you very much, Annette, for that look at top story. If our viewers, though, want more on this story and others, how do they follow you on Twitter?
Tweet me at AnnetteF24, and please do so because I need to increase the number of my followers. I have a running competition with my colleague, Doug Herbert.
Right, vote for Annette. Well, why don't you follow them both? That would be a great thing. Thank you.